What's up, everybody, and to my weekly Scripture of For Thoughts video show, a Bronx special, all up in Liquid Avenue Parks and Recreations on Pelham Parkway, Bronx, New York City, whereby works hard, hustle the wise way, do a down payment investments, be all clean spiffy, all up in Liquid Avenue Parks and Recreations, Pelham Parkway, Bronx, New York City. Now, I'm the host of the most great Bible discussing group leader and self-independent Reverend Anthony Ant T.Z. Walker. Now, here's my sermon topic with the theme beat. Here comes the bride in all her grace, glitter, and glory. And now, it's that time once again to show your love to me, your favorite great Bible discussion group leader, and to me, your favorite self-independent Reverend Anthony Ant T.Z. Walker. Time to show me right now. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for cheers, applause, and stand ovation. Thank you for the love. Now we get back to the sermon topic. Here comes the bride with all her grace, glitter, and glory. Now, part one, Isaac and Rebekah. Now, the story of Isaac and Rebekah starts with Abraham. He sent his servant to go to the Aramean and somewhere in like Africa to look for a helpful servant's daughter, and he found Rebekah. Now, there was a few twists and turns of him reuniting with Rebekah, and then he took Rebekah on a camel with her nurse, and then took her to the place of Canaan. And then when Isaac got up from meditation and he saw Rebekah on a camel, Rebekah on the camel also saw Isaac, and she said to Abraham's servant Eliezer, he said, "Who is this man coming towards us?" And then then Abraham's servant, which is Eliezer, said, that is my master. Who you say? Who's that man coming there? Then after that, the servant told Isaac all that he wanted to know. That Isaac get reacquainted with Rebekah. They got married in his tent, and they became a grateful, loving man and wife. Part one, Isaac and Rebekah, and here comes the bride in all her grace, glitter, and glory. Now, part two is about 1 Corinthians chapter 7, about marrying a woman. Now, when you marry a woman or young woman, make sure she belongs to God, make sure he belongs to God, which is the church. And so y'all can have things in common in a heavenly way of seeing things. There you go. And now, part two is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 about how to pick the right woman or right girl to be your wife. And here comes the bride with all her grace, glitter, and glory. Now here's another example on how to pick your lady or your woman to be your wife. Now part three is Jacob and Rachel. Now Jacob went to the town of Panorama to work for his uncle Laban. Then he saw his relative Rebekah, who was a female shepherd. Then they got reacquainted. It wasn't easy though, because he had to marry Leah, Rachel's sister, and then after that, Jacob married Rachel. Hi Joyce, how you doing? Have a blessed day. And then Jacob finally got married to Rebekah. later on in life, because Rebecca proven to be a woman belonging to God, a female shepherd. Now part 3 is Jacob and Rebecca, Jacob and Rachel, and here comes in part 3, Jacob and Rachel, and in part 3 of here comes a bride with all her grace, glory, and glory. Now there's one other thing that you should know is about a man picking a woman to be his wife, that she has to have to belong to the church, she has to belong to God, that she has to do things of a heavenly mindset. And now, my fourth and last lesson is in Revelation chapter 21 about Jesus as the groom and the church and the city of Jerusalem as his bride. Now in Revelations 21, now it says that Jesus has been waiting like a groom, and then the new Israel, the new Jerusalem had came nice and shiny, clean and pure, like a bride being met up to be in there with Jesus the groom. Now, part 4 is Revelation chapter 21 about Jesus as a groom to meet his bride is the city of Jerusalem, the city of the New Jerusalem. Now the next time when you see a newly wedded wife going through problems and stuff, you know what you say to this newly wedded wife? You said, now you're here the bride with her grace, glory, and glory. And now, this sums up my sermon topic. Here is the bride. Here's the bride coming with her grace, glory, and glory. Now, it's that time once again to show you love to me, your favorite great Bible session group leader, and to me, your favorite self-independent Reverend, Anthony Walker. Now it's time to show you love to me right now. Yes. Thank you everybody for cheers, applause, and standing ovation. Thank you for the love. Now, as for my weekly Scripture for Thoughts video show, a Bronx special, all up in Liquid Avenue Parks and Recreations, Pelham Parkway, Bronx, New York City, whereby works hard, hustle the wise way, do a down payment investments, be all clean spiffy. All up in Liquid Avenue Parks and Recreations, Pelham Parkway, Bronx, New York City. Now, as for me, your host of the most great Bible session group leader and self-independent Reverend Anthony Walker, said, Papa, so that for rap.